If this video is in front of you right now, it is not an accident. It is a quantum marker. The feeling of being controlled, of being on the verge of breaking, that is the final compression before a total reality collapse. This isn't a metaphor. This is not another spiritual platitude to soothe a weary soul. This is based on the physics of quantum observation and resonant fields. The system of control is real, but its power source is not what you think. It has never been what you think. In the next hour, you will not only understand the scientific architecture of this control system, but you will receive what I call the quantum liberation code, the precise sequence to decouple your energy from it forever. We will look at the observer effect, not as a quaint thought experiment from a dusty physics textbook, but as the escape mechanism, the master key, built directly into the operating system of reality itself. When the pioneers of quantum mechanics first stumbled upon this truth, it shattered their entire worldview. They entered their laboratories believing the universe was a great, predictable clockwork machine, operating with or without their attention. They believed they were passive observers measuring a world that existed independently of them. But their experiments refused to cooperate. They discovered something baffling, something that bordered on mystical. They found that at the subatomic level, reality itself exists as a cloud of pure potential, a wave of infinite possibilities, until it is observed. The very act of looking, of measuring, of placing your conscious attention upon it, is what forces that wave of potential to collapse into a single concrete particle, a single, specific experience. They learned that consciousness is not a byproduct of the universe. Consciousness is the creative force that crystallizes the universe into being, moment by moment. They were not watching the show. They were writing the script with their very attention. This discovery was so profound, so paradigm-destroying, that many of them couldn't fully accept its implications. But you will, because you are living the proof of it. First, we must validate the struggle, that feeling of hitting invisible walls, the exhaustion that no amount of sleep can ever seem to fix. The maddening, soul-crushing pattern of one step forward, two colossal steps back. This is not a personal failure. It is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a symptom of your energetic decoupling already in progress. If the idea that this video found you for a reason resonates deep in your bones, hit the like button. It's a signal to the universe and the algorithm that you are ready for this liberation. For some of you, the pain looks like this. You are the spiritual seeker. You do everything right. You meditate, you journal, you visualize your ideal reality, you clear your chakras and raise your vibration. Your inner world is a cathedral of light and intention. But you open your eyes, and the outer world remains stubbornly, brutally the same. The bills are still there. The toxic dynamics persist. The breakthrough never seems to materialize in the physical. It creates a painful dissonance, a spiritual vertigo, where you feel the truth of your power internally, but see no evidence of it externally. It is the feeling of screaming a divine truth into a soundproof room, and the silence that answers is deafening. For others, the pain is the burden of the empath. You feel everything. You walk into a room and instantly download the emotional state of every person in it. You feel the planet's grief as a weight in your own chest. You have been told this is a gift, but it feels like a curse. It feels like being a sponge left in a pool of energetic sludge, constantly absorbing, constantly waterlogged, with no way to wring yourself out. You try to shield, you try to protect, but the world's frequency of fear and chaos always seems to seep through the cracks, leaving you drained, depleted, and questioning if it's even possible to exist in this world without being consumed by it. And for many of you, the pain is that of the cycle breaker. You are the one who said, "The trauma stops with me." You feel the invisible chains of ancestral patterns, of societal conditioning, a familial obligation. You are fighting a war not just for your own sovereignty, but for generations past and future. Every time you try to build something new, a healthy relationship, a conscious business, a life of authentic freedom, you feel the immense gravitational pull of the old program. It shows up as self-sabotage, as inexplicable failures, as attracting the very people and situations you swore to transcend. It feels like you are trying to sprint forward while being tethered to a mountain of history. This friction, this exhaustion, this pain, it is not the sound of you breaking down. It is the sound of a cosmic engine turning over for the very first time. This relentless friction leads to the question so many of you are asking, whispered in the quiet moments of the night. What is the control system really? It's not what the conspiracy forums tell you. It's not a shadowy group of men in a smoke-filled room. It's subtler and far more personal. Imagine a cage, but this cage is not built of cold steel or iron bars. It is constructed from frequencies, invisible yet immensely powerful. It is the frequency of not enough that vibrates in your bank account and echoes in your self-worth. It is the frequency of obligation that hums in your family relationships, dictating your choices through guilt. It is the frequency of invisibility that keeps your greatest gifts hidden from the world. It is the constant low-grade broadcast of societal expectation, the unending drone of who you should be, how you should live, what you should want. You don't see the bars of this energetic cage, you feel them. You feel them as the job you can't leave, the relationship you can't fix, the creative project you can't start. You feel them as the persistent ceiling on your joy, your wealth, your freedom. It's the invisible wall you hit every single time you try to expand. It's the recurring loop of the same problem showing up with a different face. It is the very architecture of limitation that you have come to accept as reality. For your entire life, you have been taught to analyze the bars, to push against them, to lament their existence. You have been conditioned to believe you are a prisoner within a structure that is separate from you, a structure that was imposed upon you. But the liberation is not found in fighting the cage. It is found in understanding that the cage itself is a resonant illusion, an artifact of an old frequency you are no longer required to broadcast. The power of the cage is not in its structure. It is in your unconscious agreement to resonate with it. By the end of our time together, you will no longer see yourself as a prisoner in this cage. You will see yourself as the one who holds the key, and you will know exactly how to use it. You will understand that the pressure you feel is not the cage closing in. It is the light within you expanding to the point that it can no longer be contained. It is the signal that you are ready to collapse this old reality and engineer a new one. To understand how you can step out of the cage, you must first understand the physics of its construction. The control system is not an organization. It is not a shadowy group of people in a room. To think of it that way is to give it far too much credit, and to miss its true nature entirely. The control system is a collective resonance field. Imagine it like the Earth's magnetic field, an invisible but powerful force that shapes the environment. This energetic field, however, is comprised of dominant frequencies broadcast by the accumulated weight of human consciousness, amplified and repeated through specific channels. Mass media, cultural narratives, educational systems, political discourse, and even the unresolved trauma embedded in our ancestral lines. These channels constantly broadcast a very narrow band of frequencies: the frequency of fear, of scarcity, of competition, of unworthiness, of perpetual crisis. This field doesn't need to enforce its rules with soldiers. It doesn't need to lock you in a physical cell. Its power is far more subtle and far more effective. It operates through the scientific principle of resonant sympathy. Have you ever seen two tuning forks? If you have two forks tuned to the same exact note, say, middle C, and you strike one of them, something remarkable happens. The second tuning fork, even if it's across the room and untouched, will begin to vibrate and hum with the same note. It has been captured by the resonance of the first. It had no choice. It was built to respond to that specific frequency. You are that second tuning fork. Your energy body, your consciousness, is a magnificent, complex instrument capable of holding an infinite number of frequencies. But from the moment you are born, you are placed within this powerful collective resonance field. The frequency of not enough is broadcast constantly. The frequency of you must fit in is repeated endlessly. The frequency of the world is dangerous is the bass note of the entire symphony. Unconsciously, without ever choosing to, Your own energy field begins to vibrate in sympathy with those dominant external notes. You begin to hum their tune. So, this is the control system explained simply. It's not a prison, it's a symphony playing a low-frequency song, and you've been unconsciously humming along. The bars of your cage are not made of steel. The bars are the specific frequencies you have unconsciously agreed to resonate with. The bar of self-doubt, the bar of familial obligation, the bar of societal expectation. They feel solid, they feel impassable, because a part of your own energy is vibrating in perfect unison with them, holding them in place in your reality. This is why you feel so exhausted. You are spending immense amounts of life force energy to maintain resonance with a frequency that is not your own. But if the cage is built by resonance, it can be dismantled by resonance. This is the entire foundation of what I call the Quantum Liberation Code. The code is not a secret mantra or a complex ritual. It is a precise, two-part quantum process for consciously changing your personal frequency so that it no longer matches the frequency of the cage's bars. It is the art of becoming the one tuning fork in the room that refuses to vibrate with the low-frequency noise. It's not about breaking the bars, it's about becoming acoustically invisible to them. When your frequency no longer matches, the bars cease to exist for you. You don't break out of the cage. You simply stop projecting it into your reality. The two core components of this code are frequency identification and sovereign broadcasting. First, you must identify which specific frequencies of the collective field you are currently locked into. You must become aware of the tune you are humming. Which of these resonant bars feels most solid in your life right now? The frequency of not enough, of obligation, or of invisibility? Once you identify the frequency, the second step is to consciously and deliberately broadcast your own unique, high-amplitude signal. Your sovereign frequency. This is the signal of your undiluted, authentic self. This is the work we are here to do. Now, this leads us to the most critical error, the fundamental misunderstanding that has kept so many brilliant souls trapped for so long. They try to fight the system. They rage against the news. They argue with those still asleep. They pour their magnificent energy into resisting, protesting, and battling the perceived injustice. And in doing so, they inadvertently pour concrete around the very bars they wish to escape. In the quantum world, there is no such thing as neutral observation. The act of focusing your attention on something is an act of creation. It feeds that thing with your energy. When you push against a wall, the wall uses your own force to push back against you. It is a perfect energetic circuit. Resistance is not a force of liberation. It is an act of resonant engagement. Anger at the system is a frequency. Fear of their control is a frequency. Desperation to escape is a frequency. And all of these frequencies are perfectly, harmonically in tune with the collective resonance field. When you fight the news, you are locking your own energy field into the frequency of conflict and powerlessness that the news is designed to broadcast. You are striking their tuning fork for them. When you argue with a family member who is deeply programmed, you are attempting to use your energy to overpower theirs, creating a dissonant and draining energetic battle that only reinforces the program's belief that the world is a place of conflict. You strengthen their resonance with the cage. When you feel rage at the injustice in the world, you are flooding your system with the very cortisol and adrenaline that makes your bioenergetic field a perfect receptor for the frequency of crisis and fear. You are quite literally tuning yourself to their station. Fighting the cage is like trying to punch your way out of a room made of your own shadow. The more you fight, the larger and more defined the shadow becomes. It is a game you cannot win, because you were never meant to play it. This is the new paradigm, this is the release. The path to freedom is not through fighting against, it is through resonating beyond. Your goal is not to destroy the cage, it is to make it irrelevant. Your mission is not to wake up the world, it is to embody your own liberated state so fully that your very presence offers a different frequency, a different choice to those who are ready. You have been trying to be a battering ram. I am going to show you how to become a ghost that walks through walls. We have mapped the physics of the cage. We have identified its bars as frequencies of a collective field that we unconsciously resonate with. And for centuries, for millennia, we have operated under one single, fatal assumption. An error so profound it has defined the entire human spiritual journey as a struggle, as a fight, as an escape. We have believed the cage is external. We have believed that there is a they out there, a system, an elite, a cabal, that built a prison and placed us inside of it. We have looked for its architects outside of ourselves. We have raged against its wardens in the world around us. We have exhausted ourselves trying to find a key to a lock on a door that was never actually there. This is the fundamental error. This is the illusion that has kept humanity looping in cycles of suffering and temporary liberation. The revelation is this: the energetic cage is an internal projection. The bars you feel are not being imposed upon you. They are being broadcast from you. The control system has no power of its own. It is a phantom, a ghost in the machine that requires your consciousness, your focus, your observation to give it form and solidity. The entire architecture of limitation is powered by one single energy source: yours. Their control is fueled entirely by your observation of it. It's a film playing on the screen of reality, and you are not in the audience. You are the projector. You are the light source. And the control system is just the old film reel you've had running on a loop for lifetimes. What if the very pressure you've been fighting is just the shadow of the immense power you are about to reclaim? Let that sink in for a moment. This single truth, when you allow it to land not just in your mind but in your bones, in your blood, changes everything. It reframes every second of your struggle. It recontextualizes every moment of your pain. Let's unpack the cascade of implications. This means the immense pressure you feel, that feeling of the walls closing in, is not the system winning. It is not them tightening their grip. It is the undeniable evidence of your own sovereign energy expanding. It is your own light, your true frequency, becoming so powerful that it is pushing against the self-imposed limits of your own outdated projection. The cage feels tighter because you are getting bigger. The pain is not a symptom of defeat. It is the friction of your own godlike creative power coming online and grinding against the constraints of a reality program that is now far too small to contain you. This means you have never been a victim, not for a single moment. You have been a dormant creator, a slumbering god, running a program of limitation passed down to you through your lineage, through your culture, through the collective field. You have been playing a role with such perfect method acting that you forgot you wrote the script. There is no blame here. There is no shame. There is only the breathtaking realization that the entity you thought you were fighting was merely the shadow of the power you have yet to claim. The victim story dissolves in the face of this truth. It is revealed as the most sophisticated control program of all, because it convinces the projector that it is merely a character on the screen. This means you do not need to fight anyone or anything. The entire paradigm of the freedom fighter, the warrior of light, the spiritual soldier, becomes obsolete. To fight the projection is to stare at it with intense focus, pouring your precious creative energy into the very thing you wish to dissolve, giving it more reality, more solidity. Fighting the cage strengthens its bars. Raging against the system energizes its circuits. You only need to stop playing its film. You only need to choose a new reality to project. The war is over, not because you won, but because you finally realize you were the only one on the battlefield. And this means your sensitivity, your empathy, that thing you have been told is a weakness, is actually your greatest superpower. It is not a design flaw. It is a high-definition, high-fidelity feedback system. The reason you feel the cage so acutely is because your sensory apparatus is advanced enough to detect the precise frequencies of your own projection. Every time you feel drained, every time you feel that invisible wall, your sensitivity is not telling you that you are weak. It's giving you a precise diagnostic reading, a pinpoint location on your inner map saying, right here. You are still unconsciously broadcasting the frequency of limitation from this point. It is the ultimate guidance system for your own liberation. This is the shift in power. The journey is not an escape. It is a fundamental operational upgrade. The goal is to stop feeding the old projection with your attention, your belief, and most importantly, your observation. We must learn the art of what I call conscious observational withdrawal. It is the act of deliberately pulling your focus, your energy, your belief from the reality that no longer serves you. You don't destroy it, you don't attack it, you simply let it starve. You let it fade from lack of attention, like a dream that dissolves upon waking. You let the old world die not with a bang, but with a whisper of your indifference, because your attention is now fully captivated by the world you are choosing to create. This changes who you are at the most fundamental level of identity. You are not a prisoner seeking freedom. You are a projector choosing a new film. You are not a freedom fighter battling a corrupt system. You are a reality creator selecting a new frequency to broadcast. You are not a victim of circumstance, tossed about by external forces. You are the observer whose gaze collapses the wave of infinite potential into the particle of lived experience. This is the final turn of the key. You are not escaping the matrix. You are realizing you are its architect, and you are now initiating a total system reboot. This is where we find the real signs you are breaking free from programming. They aren't what you think. They are the glitches that prove the old program is finally, irrevocably crashing. Now that you know you are the projector, I am going to show you the evidence in your own life. I will show you the 3 primary glitches that prove your old reality program is already failing. These are the signs you have been misinterpreting as punishment, as failure, or as evidence that you are on the wrong path. They are the exact opposite. They are error messages from the old system, confirming that its structural integrity is compromised by the sheer force of your expanding sovereign frequency. These are not setbacks. They are your receipts of progress, written in the language of quantum decoherence. Let's learn to read them. The first sign you have likely misinterpreted is sudden chaos and loss. We will call this the great unraveling. This is the job that disappears overnight, the relationship that implodes without warning, the friendship that dissolves into thin air, the financial stability that suddenly evaporates. On the surface, it feels like destruction. It feels like the universe is penalizing you. But from a perspective of physics, it is simply structural decoherence. Imagine you have built a house made of ice, and you decide to move it to a warmer climate. The house doesn't fall apart because you did something wrong. It falls apart because its very structure is incompatible with the new environment, the new frequency you are choosing to embody. The life you built, the job you had, the relationships you formed, they were all constructed to be in resonance with your old frequency. They were the scaffolding that held up the projection of the old you. As your core frequency rises, as your sovereign energy expands, that old scaffolding can no longer contain you. The frequency mismatch becomes so great that the old structures literally cannot hold their form in your reality any longer. They must fall away. They must dissolve. Consider the story of a client. Let's call her Clara. For a decade, Clara had worked tirelessly to climb the corporate ladder at a prestigious marketing firm. It was her dream job. It gave her security, identity, and the approval she had craved from her family. She did everything right. But internally, she felt a growing hollowness, a sense that she was playing a role in a play she hadn't written. One Tuesday morning, she was called into a sterile conference room and told her position was being eliminated due to restructuring. Her world collapsed. For weeks, she saw it as a catastrophic failure, a punishment. She was spiraling, seeing only the loss, the gaping hole in her life. But what was really happening? Her sovereign energy, the part of her that craved authentic creation and not just clever promotion, had been building in pressure. Her soul was broadcasting a new frequency, one that was completely out of tune with the frequency of corporate conformity and meaningless deadlines. The dream job was an ice sculpture, and her inner sun was beginning to shine. The collapse wasn't a punishment, it was a liberation. It was the universe forcibly clearing a space that she was too afraid to clear for herself. The chaos was a crucible. Stripped of her old identity, she was forced to ask, for the first time, who am I without this title? That question led her to start a small consulting business helping artists find their voice, a path that felt so resonant, so alive, that her old life felt like a black and white film in comparison. You can spot the great unraveling when things that once felt solid and dependable suddenly feel hollow, brittle, or fall away without a proportionate logical cause. It is the universe's demolition crew, clearing the foundation for the palace you are now ready to build. In the comments, share which of these 3 signs you have been misinterpreting as a setback. Let's create a powerful witness field for each other's breakthroughs. I want to read your story. The second sign, which is often the most confusing and painful, is an increased psychic attack, or a surge of negativity from your environment. Suddenly, people from your past reappear with old grievances. Colleagues become inexplicably critical. You find yourself the target of gossip or misunderstanding. Family members who were once neutral suddenly challenge your new beliefs or lifestyle. It feels like you are being targeted, attacked from all sides. The natural human response is to believe you are doing something wrong, to retreat, to shrink yourself back down to avoid the conflict. This is a profound misreading of the energetic dynamics at play. This is not an attack. It is the old program's immune system. Imagine your energy field as a biological system. For years, it has been in resonance with the collective field of limitation, doubt, and conformity. It was a known part of that system. Now, you are introducing a new, high-frequency signal, the frequency of sovereignty, of freedom, of unlimited potential. To the old system, your new frequency is a foreign body. It is an anomaly it cannot categorize. And just like a biological immune system sends antibodies to attack and neutralize a foreign cell, the collective resonance field sends its antibodies to attack your new frequency and pull you back into conformity. These antibodies are not evil people. They are simply unconscious broadcasters of the old code. The critical family member isn't trying to hurt you. Their own energy system is being triggered by your light, which illuminates the parts of themselves they have suppressed. The old friend who belittles your new path is acting as a representative of the frequency of fear, attempting to pull your frequency back down to a level it recognizes. Every piece of criticism, every negative encounter, is a resonance test. The old program is pinging your system, asking, "Are you still tuned to this frequency of drama? Are you still available for this vibration of victimhood? Will you resonate with this fear?" When you react with anger, when you defend yourself, when you get pulled into the argument, you are resonating. You are telling the system, "Yes, I am still available for this frequency," and you strengthen the very bars you are trying to dissolve. The breakthrough comes when you see these interactions not as personal attacks, but as impersonal frequency checks. You see the person, but you also see the program running through them, and you can choose not to engage the program. This is happening because your light is getting brighter. You don't get attacked when you are hiding in the dark. You only draw fire when you become a beacon. This negativity is the most powerful confirmation that you are no longer in energetic alignment with the old matrix. It's the ultimate compliment from a system you are successfully leaving behind. The third sign is a feeling of profound aloneness or alienation. This is a subtle, deep ache. It's the feeling of being at a party and feeling like you are behind an invisible wall of glass. It's the experience of trying to connect with old friends and realizing you no longer speak the same language. The topics they find fascinating, gossip, complaining, mainstream narratives, feel draining and pointless to you. Your passions, your inner discoveries, your spiritual awareness, they are met with blank stares or polite dismissal. This can lead to a deep sense of loneliness, a feeling that you are a stranger on your own planet. You feel like you no longer fit in anywhere, and that is exactly the point. You are not supposed to fit in anymore. You are not experiencing isolation. You are undergoing energetic insulation. Think of it in terms of technology. For most of your life, your consciousness has been logged into a massive public server, the collective resonance field. It's a crowded, noisy server, full of the viruses of fear, the spam of mass media, and the slow bandwidth of limited beliefs. You were connected, but you were also vulnerable and running on a shared, compromised system. As you activate your sovereign frequency, you are in the process of logging off the public server and booting up your own private encrypted server. This period of aloneness is the necessary quarantine phase. It is the space between disconnecting from the old network and establishing a strong, stable connection to your new one. Your energy field is being recalibrated, insulated, and secured. The universe is creating a sacred silence around you, so you can hear your own signal clearly for the first time, without the constant noise of the collective. It is clearing your energetic space of old connections so that new connections, ones that are in true resonance with your sovereign self, can find you. This is not a void. It is a womb. It is in this sacred silence, this aloneness, that you truly discover who you are. You stop defining yourself by your reflection in the eyes of others and start defining yourself by the truth that radiates from your own core. This alienation is the final stage of decoupling. It is the evidence that you are no longer powered by the collective grid. You have become your own power source, so now you have a new framework, a new way to decode reality. When chaos appears, you will no longer ask, "What did I do wrong?" You will ask, "What is being cleared to make space for what I've asked for?" When negativity spikes and you feel targeted, you will not ask, "How can I defend myself?" You will ask, "What part of me has become so sovereign that it is now immune to this frequency?" And when the feeling of aloneness hits, you will not ask, "Why doesn't anyone understand me?" You will ask, "What am I being invited to build in this sacred, silent space of my own creation?" This is how you move from being a victim of circumstance to a conscious decoder of your reality. You begin to see the hand of your own higher self in every event, recognizing the glitches not as problems, but as proof that the great liberation is not just coming. It is already here. You understand the theory. You have seen the evidence in your own life. Now it is time to stop analyzing and start embodying. It's time to run the quantum liberation code, to move this truth from the abstract space of your mind into the living architecture of every cell in your body. Find a comfortable position, one where you can be undisturbed for the next few minutes, seated or lying down. It does not matter. What matters is your intention to be fully present for this activation. When you are ready, gently close your eyes. Take a deep, conscious breath in, filling your lungs completely. And as you exhale, release the day. Release the thoughts. Release the need to understand what comes next. Just be here. Another deep breath in, and a slow, complete breath out. Feeling your body settle, feeling your awareness turn from the world outside to the universe within. For a moment, I want you to bring your awareness to the energetic cage we have been discussing. Do not think about it. I want you to feel for it. Scan your body, not with your mind, but with your inner sense of touch. Where do you feel its frequency signature? Is it a constriction in your throat when you want to speak your truth? A tightness in your chest? Is it a cold, heavy weight in your stomach, the signature of obligation and ancestral burden? Perhaps it's a subtle chill across your shoulders, the frequency of fear or of being watched. Don't judge it. Don't fight it. Simply locate it. Acknowledge its presence as a resonant field. Notice its texture, its temperature, its density. This is the old program. This is the frequency you have been unconsciously broadcasting, the signal that has been projecting the bars of your reality. Just notice it. Be the quiet observer of this sensation. This is the first step. Recognition without resistance. Now, gently, I want you to let your awareness of that sensation drift to the background and bring your focus, all of it, to the very center of your being, to your heart space or your solar plexus, just below your ribs. Place a hand there if it helps you focus. Breathe into this space. I want you to access a memory, not just any memory, a memory of pure, undiluted sovereignty. A moment when you felt utterly and completely yourself. A moment of exhilarating freedom. Perhaps it was standing on a mountaintop, the wind in your hair. A moment of deep creative flow where time disappeared. The moment you laughed so hard your entire body ached with joy. Or a quiet moment of profound peace, where you knew without a doubt that you were exactly where you were meant to be. Find that moment. Let the scene materialize in your mind's eye. See the colors, hear the sounds. Now, this is the crucial step. Let the details of the memory go. Let the images fade. Let the story dissolve. Release the who, the what, the where, the when, and hold on only to the feeling. Isolate the pure energetic signature of that moment, the raw feeling tone, the vibration of it in your cells. This is not a thought. This is a physical sensation, a warmth, a lightness, a hum, an expansion. This is your unique sovereign frequency. It is the most authentic signal you can possibly broadcast. It is the truth of who you are, encoded as energy. As you embody this new frequency, what one word defines your sovereign state? Freedom, peace, power. Claim it. Give this feeling a name, your name for it, and feel how that word amplifies the sensation. Now we amplify. I want you to turn up the volume on this sovereign frequency. Imagine a dial at the center of your being, and with your intention, turn it up. From a 1 to a 3 to a 7. Feel the warmth spreading from your core. Feel the light intensifying. This golden, brilliant light of your own essence, expanding outwards in all directions. Turn it up to a 10. Feel this frequency, this light, this sound, expanding beyond your chest, filling your entire torso, pushing out any dense, heavy energy. Now, let it expand further, down your legs, to the soles of your feet, up your arms, to the tips of your fingers, up through your neck and into your head, illuminating your mind with clarity and peace. Your entire body is now vibrating at your sovereign frequency. You are a broadcasting tower of your own truth. And now, expand it even further, beyond the confines of your physical body, pushing this beautiful, powerful light out into the space around you, creating a radiant orb of sovereign energy. This is your field. This is your space. From this place of power, let this tidal wave of light continue to expand. Let it move to meet the frequency of the cage you located earlier. But you are not fighting it. You are not attacking it. You are overriding it. Imagine a pure, perfect musical tone being played so powerfully that it doesn't fight the discordant noise in the room. It simply absorbs it. It makes the noise irrelevant. Your sovereign frequency is this pure tone. Watch as this brilliant light of your truth moves toward the dense energy of the cage. See it permeate the constriction, the weight, the chill, and watch as those old frequencies simply dissolve. They do not shatter. They do not break. They dematerialize in the presence of your truth. The bars of the cage were only ever made of shadow, and you have just turned on the sun. Watch them fade into nothing, dissolving into light, becoming transparent, until there is nothing left, nothing at all, just you, just your light, just your frequency. Take a moment here, in this unbound space. Feel the edges of your energy field, now limitless. Feel the absence of constriction, the absence of weight. This feeling, this is your natural state. This is not something you have earned or achieved. This is something you have remembered. This is the truth that was waiting for you beneath the programming. This is your home frequency. This is your truth. And from this state, anything is possible. From this state, you are the creator. You are the architect. Take one more deep breath, breathing in this new reality. Your reality. And when you are ready, gently, slowly, begin to bring your awareness back to the room around you. You can wiggle your fingers and toes, and in your own time, open your eyes. Notice how the room looks different. The light may seem brighter, the colors more vivid. That is because you are not the same person who closed their eyes a few minutes ago. You are observing your reality from a new state of being, from a new point of origin. You are observing from sovereignty. That feeling is your new baseline. You are now operating as a sovereign architect. This is not a temporary state. It is not a fleeting high. It is a fundamental shift in your energetic signature, a permanent upgrade to your personal reality's operating system. But like any powerful system, it requires a new user manual. It requires a set of practices that maintain and expand its integrity. So here is how to break free from the matrix on a practical daily basis. It comes down to these three powerful tools. These are the tools to maintain your new architecture and begin to consciously build upon it day after day. The first tool is foundational. It is your morning ritual. We call it the resonance check. Its purpose is simple: to prevent your consciousness from unconsciously defaulting to the old program. When you wake up, your mind is in a highly suggestible state. For years, the first thing you have likely done is reach for your phone, immediately plugging your pristine, rested consciousness directly into the collective resonance field. You are inviting the cage back in before you've even had a chance to remember you are free. The resonance check is the act of claiming your day, of choosing your reality before the old reality tries to choose you. The principle here is pure quantum observation. Whatever you look for, you will find. Whatever frequency you broadcast first thing in the morning becomes the magnetic attractor for the events of your day. So you must consciously choose what reality to collapse before you are presented with one to react to. Here is how you do it. It takes 2 minutes. Step 1. Before your feet hit the floor, before you check a single message, close your eyes. Place a hand on your heart or your solar plexus and call back the feeling you just experienced. The feeling of your sovereign frequency. Don't think about it. Feel it. That sense of expansion, of peace, of quiet power. Let it fill you completely. This is you, remembering who you are. Step 2. With that frequency as your baseline, scan the day ahead. See the meetings, the conversations, the tasks. Don't engage with them emotionally. Simply observe them as potential resonance traps, opportunities for the old program to hook you. You might see a difficult conversation with a family member, a stressful deadline at work, a public space you have to navigate. Identify them without fear. Step 3. Now this is the critical step. From your core, preemptively flood those future moments with your sovereign frequency. Visualize your expanded, peaceful energy arriving in that meeting room before you do. See it filling the space of that difficult conversation, neutralizing the old triggers. You are not building a shield to protect yourself. You are changing the energetic environment of the future moment itself. You are broadcasting your reality ahead of time, so that when you physically arrive, the situation must resonate with you, not the other way around. The most common mistake here is subtle, but profound. People try to shield themselves. A shield is an act of defense. It implies there is something to fight, something to fear. It is a frequency of separation and resistance. And what did we learn about resistance? It strengthens the cage. Broadcasting is an act of creation. It is offensive, not defensive. It does not acknowledge a threat. It simply establishes the dominant reality. You are not a fortress. You are a lighthouse. Do this every single morning. Before the world tells you who you are, you tell the world. What is the very first echo from your past? A person, a thought pattern, a situation that you commit to consciously de-resonating from, starting today. The second tool is for when you are in the midst of your day. It is your real-time course corrector. We call it the conscious withdrawal. Its purpose is to give you a precise protocol for the moment you feel yourself being triggered, the moment you feel the metallic taste of the old cage in your reality. A trigger is simply a resonant hook, an old piece of programming, a belief in unworthiness, a fear of abandonment, a pattern of people-pleasing, gets activated by an external event, and your energy begins to drain into that old projection, strengthening it. The conscious withdrawal is how you pull the plug. The principle is the core of this entire teaching. Stop observing what you do not wish to energize. Reality requires your conscious attention to exist. When you feel a trigger, you are feeding a timeline you do not wish to experience. The goal is to consciously, deliberately, and immediately withdraw that energy. Here is the 3-step process. It can be done in 10 seconds, invisibly, anywhere. Step 1. Acknowledge the trigger. The moment you feel that old familiar constriction, the tightness in your chest, the heat in your face, the knot in your stomach, do not fight it. Do not judge it. Simply say to yourself internally, "I see you, old program." This act of neutral observation prevents you from immediately identifying with the reaction. You are the observer, not the reaction itself. Step 2. Place your hand on your heart. This is not a symbolic gesture. It is a somatic anchor. The physical touch brings you back into your body and out of the reactive mind. As you touch your chest, consciously recall the feeling tone of your sovereign frequency. You don't need to generate it fully, just remember its existence. It is the homing signal for your consciousness. Step 3. State your choice. Internally, or if you are alone verbally, state with calm authority. I withdraw my energy and observation from this timeline. I choose again. And then you breathe. You have just performed a quantum edit. You have refused to power the old projection. It may still echo, but you have cut its power source. The most common mistake is judgment. When you get triggered, the old program's first line of defense is to make you feel bad about being triggered. I should know better. I thought I was past this. I'm a failure. This self-judgment is a low-frequency charge that locks the trigger in place. It's the program's insurance policy. Acknowledge, withdraw, and choose again without judgment. Every single time, that is mastery. The third tool is for navigating the world, for interacting with those still deeply embedded in the collective resonance field. We call it navigating the echoes. Its purpose is to allow you to remain sovereign in a world that is constantly broadcasting the frequency of the cage. You cannot and should not live in isolation. The goal is not to escape the world, but to be a transformative presence within it. The principle is simple. You can be in the field without being of the field. You can stand in a room full of tuning forks vibrating at a low frequency and maintain your own unique high-frequency hum without being affected. The how-to is an internal posture. You must interact from the position of the calm anchor, not the reactive boat. The reactive boat gets tossed around by every wave of external opinion, fear, and drama. The calm anchor rests on the ocean floor, aware of the storm on the surface but unmoved by it. When someone is speaking to you from their programming, complaining, gossiping, expressing fear or limitation, see it for what it is. An echo. It is the broadcast of their energetic cage. Your job is not to argue with the echo. Your job is not to try and fix the echo. Your job is to see their programming with compassion, but not agreement. Hold your frequency. Be the lighthouse. Your stable, sovereign presence does more to offer them a choice than any argument ever could. The mistake everyone makes here is the savior complex. When you first break free, you want to break everyone else free. You try to wake them up. You argue. You try to save them. This is an error. Trying to force someone to change their frequency is just another form of control. It is an imposition of your reality onto theirs, and it is a subtle form of energetic violence. It will drain you, and it will only cause them to reinforce their own cage in defiance. Your only responsibility is to embody the alternative. Be the living proof that a different reality is possible. Your freedom is the only sermon you ever need to give. Use this when you are with family. Use this in your workplace. Use this when you consume media. Be the anchor, not the boat. This is your new spiritual hygiene. The resonance check in the morning, to set your field. The conscious withdrawal when triggered, to reclaim your power. Navigating the echoes in the world, to maintain your sovereignty. This is not a list of tasks. This is not more work to add to your life. This is the art of living as a creator. It is the effortless practice of choosing your reality moment by moment. It is the difference between being the architect of your life and being a tenant in a building someone else designed. You have walked an entire lifetime in a single hour. Let's acknowledge the scale of this journey. You came here feeling the immense crushing pressure of a cage you could not see, an exhaustion that sleep could not touch. You arrived at the absolute edge, on the verge of breaking, and in that sacred space of near surrender, you found not an end but a doorway. You have moved beyond theory. You discovered the fundamental, reality-altering truth of this universe. You were never the prisoner. You were the projector. The control system, the matrix, the invisible walls. They were all echoes of an old broadcast, a film reel you had been playing on a loop out of habit, out of conditioning, out of a profound forgetting of your own power. You did the work. You felt the bars dissolve not with force but with a simple, elegant shift in frequency. An overwrite. You reclaimed your energy from the programs of limitation and fear, and now you hold the tools of the sovereign architect, the resonance check, the conscious withdrawal, the art of navigating the echoes. This is not a belief system you have adopted. It is an achieved state of being. You have achieved energetic sovereignty. Breathe that in. Feel the vast, quiet power in that statement. It is your truth now. But this raises a profound question, the most important question an architect can ask after laying the foundation. What is sovereignty for? Is it merely for the creation of a personal paradise, a fortress of solitude where you are safe from the lower frequencies of the world? For a time, perhaps. Insulation is a necessary phase, but to remain there is to misunderstand the very nature of the energy you now command. Your sovereign frequency is not just a shield, it is a broadcast. It is a signal sent out into the quantum field, a lighthouse in the fog of the collective resonance. For so long, the path of awakening has been framed as the journey of the lone warrior, battling their demons in isolation, breaking their chains in solitude. And while that is a crucial first step, it is not the destination. It is the graduation. A single sovereign frequency is a powerful reality generator. It can bend time, attract resources, and sculpt your personal timeline with astonishing precision. We have established this. But what happens when multiple sovereign frequencies, multiple lighthouses, begin to broadcast in coherence? What happens when architects stop building fortresses and start building bridges? This is the next horizon. The shift from I to we. Not a we of collective programming and unconscious agreement, but a we of conscious sovereign creators choosing to align their fields for a purpose far greater than individual survival or comfort. When sovereign energy fields intentionally entangle, when they meet not in reaction or obligation, but in a state of conscious coherence, they do not create a new cage. They do not cancel each other out. They create a coherent heart field. This is a term grounded in both spiritual science and quantum physics. It is a resonant container, a unified field of consciousness generated by two or more sovereign beings that has the power to manifest realities far beyond what any single individual can engineer. It is the physics of collective creation. It is the end of the lone warrior paradigm and the beginning of conscious civilization. It is how new worlds are truly born. Not through fighting the old, but by building a new reality so compelling, so resonant, that it renders the old one obsolete. This is where your journey leads, from breaking free of the old world to actively building the new one. Subscribe and activate all notifications. The next video, The Coherent Heart Field Explained. How sovereign minds build new realities together is the next stage of your evolution from sovereign individual to conscious world builder. You've broken free, now it's time to build. That is exactly where we are going next. The theoretical framework and the practical protocols are ready. In our next deep dive, The Coherent Heart Field Explained. How sovereign minds build new realities together. We will break down the precise science of heart coherence, the mechanics of conscious entanglement, and give you the protocol for forming these fields to initiate conscious, collective creation in your life, your community, and beyond. We will move from personal reality architecture to shared world building. And from there, we will explore an even deeper layer of this new reality. We will show you why synchronicity is simpler than you think. It's pure physics. You will learn to see the fabric of reality itself as a conscious, responsive intelligence that organizes itself around coherent fields, making miracles a predictable, engineerable outcome. But for now, stand in the power you have reclaimed today. Go forth as the architect of your world. Carry this new frequency in every cell. Feel it in the quiet moments. Broadcast it in the chaotic ones. See every challenge not as a setback, but as a choice point, an invitation to consciously choose your frequency again. See every trigger not as a wound, but as an echo from a reality you no longer inhabit, a ghost with no power over you. You are no longer breaking free, you are free, and your freedom is the signal that calls others home. Go and build.